St. Mary's with early rewards.
Indeed, an early goal certainly puts some pressure on New Star. But then again, Atif, you have at least 85 minutes for a comeback. Here's John Lavani in space on the left. Brilliant tackle. Good work done by Mohammad Atif. Lavani, who had a hamstring injury in the Super 8 stage. Could see a heavily strapped right quadricep muscle as well.
Long throw in coming in. Another opportunity hits the crossbar. Gumbari this time. Superb technique shown from Danjumba Gumbari. But pretty unfortunate on that occasion. The number 13 for St. Mary's hitting the crossbar. Could have easily been 2-0 in favor of St. Mary's inside just 7 minutes or so. This is one-way traffic at the moment at the racecourse. Under lights, St. Mary's going full-on attack against Imran Hussein's new star outfit, as St. Mary's are setting up for their second corner. Both of the opportunities did come through set pieces. One from a corner which ended up in the back of the net, and Danjuma Gumbari hit the crossbar from a long throw in from Morrison. Here's the skipper, Nitharsan, with a good elevated delivery, but John Lavani this time hitting it tad bit too high for his liking, as goalkeeper Fernando had his work cut out. Motabo, light work for him. Is the main man in the defense for St. Mary's. Enterprising start for the boys from North. Call is for a handball, but referee says otherwise. Here's St. Mary's launching yet another counter attack, but done well from Al Fatih. These new star flankers or the fullbacks will have to be up on their toes with what these St. Mary's wingers possesses, and it will be the first yellow card for the day. John Loyas goes into the books after an silly infringement against Mohammad Fazal. Fazal using his experience on that occasion. One could suggest it's a smart play from the experienced Mohammad Fazal, as New Star takes the free kick shot. Yes, Fazal, beautiful 1-2. New Star. Here's Gumbari. Has options, as John Lavani creates space, but well done from the new star number 18 rather, Muhammad Atif. Has done pretty well, Muhammad Atif, so far. 2 important tackles. St. Mary's with yet another throw in. This time taken short. Poor piece of football from the number 5, John Loyas. Anikan cleaning up his lines. Ball floated in. Lavani catching himself in an offside position. Made his run a bit too fast on that occasion. Read the play, John Lavani, but reacted a bit too fast, and referee Hiranta Pumal raised his flag quite quickly as well and spotted it pretty easily as New Star through Muhammad Atif yet again setting up their play from the back. Avuja. New Star trying to keep the ball on the ground, creating a beautiful passage of play, and the deflection of Okemetabo. And Anikan does really well to react fast. Good signs shown from New Star after going 1 goal down in these opening exchanges. Avuja fighting hard, but Gumbari too good on that occasion as St. Mary's pressing hard and pressing high. Here's Lavani. Fernando with an acrobatic save off his lines. Still possession with St. Mary's. Fazal with the clearing duties for New Star. Ball floated in. Anikan with an awkward pass, and New Star almost equalizing things here at the race course. Pretty unfortunate from New Star's perspective as they tried to capitalize on Anikan's mistake, but the crossbar coming against New Star on that occasion. That was a brilliant hit from the number 16, Muhammad Shahid, I believe. Avuja. That was pretty silly, cynical mistake from the 2 experienced New Star players. Muhammad Fazal, you can't afford to do those kind of mistakes. Fans pleading for a handball, and again Mohammad Atif with a pretty good tackle, denying Morrison from crossing the ball to find John Lavani in the middle of the park. Here's the skipper Nitharsan under the free corner. Decent delivery. Metabo on the far post, and a deflection yet again results in a corner in favor of St. Mary's.
John Loyas with his left floats it in. Okay, Metabo sends it over. John Lavani putting some pressure on the defense, but here's Kumbari, but his effort over the goal. No communication between the goalkeeper and the defense.
Here's Avuja. Fasal. Beautiful bit of work. You start trying everything in their trick book, but nothing so far is paying off in favor of them. But still plenty of time left in this game. Anything could happen. Just one brain fade moment from St. Mary's is enough for New Star to capitalize, as New Star continues to press high and fast. Here's St. Mary's through Morrison. Morrison with plenty of pace, but very well done from the New Star left right back. It will be a long throw in coming in from Morrison. We did see what this St. Mary's team can do with their long throw-ins this time. It will result in yet another corner. It's the 5th corner, I believe, for St. Mary's in this opening 20 minutes or so. Well done from Indeepa Fernando. Very important touch coming in from Indeepa Fernando. Punch took it out of danger as here's a new star launching a counter attack. They have numbers in the middle. Avuja stealing it from one of the St. Mary's midfielders. Fatih. Shot from range and hits the crossbar yet again. Mohammad Tillam this time. What a hit from the youngster. Catching Anikan off guard, but yet again the crossbar coming against New Stars' fortunes. As the scoreline still stays 1-0 in favour of St. Mary's. Imran Hussain on your screen, marching his troops. New Star started off the Champions League campaign with 5 wins in a row, and just as the Super 8s started, it went all downhill for Imran Hussein's men. Don't know what went wrong for the men in red, but it was not the same New Star outfit who featured in the first round, isn't it now?
Yes, indeed. I think things never really clicked for New Star in that Super 8 stage. They were without some of their key players as well, but nonetheless, on paper they had a strong squad. Some decisions on field as well contributed to that. Them not performing to their potential.
Definitely, they were in winning positions a couple of times in the Super 8s, and in the latter part of the games they did drop points, conceding late. So that was a concerning thing for the New Star outfit. And in these knockout games, you can't afford to do those kind of mistakes, as if you want to go on and win that silverware.
Yeah, I can remember this very same fixture where St. Mary's were leading 2-0 in the second half before New Star forged a comeback. They were leading 3-2 before they conceded a late goal for New Star, which ended 3-3, and then there was another game where they were leading 2-0 New Star against Police, where Police came back, and I think they also won or drew the game. Yes, 2-2. So those are the couple of instances where they missed out on points, at least 4 points, yes. Here's Danjuma Gumbari, Aujad as well. Aujad has been one of the standout players, if not the best player for New Star this season, alongside the likes of Mohammad Fazal and this man right here, Mohammad Ilham.
Definitely. Vital Avuja has some good memories playing against St. Mary's, as you mentioned, in that Super 8 fixture, which they drew against each other. 3 goals all. Avuja did score a brace, 2 goals from range. And Mohammad Tillam as well scored the potential winner, but Marison came in handy for St. Mary's, scoring a late equalizer for St. Mary's. And here's Marison yet again with one of his long and hanging throw-ins. This time New Star does decently well to cut off the danger. Straight into Indeep Fernando's mitts. Fernando has been on the firing range in this opening 27 minutes or so. Lavani. Here's Tillam. Metabo. St. Mary's trying to slow things down. For all the football fans in Sri Lanka, it'll be an important day tomorrow, as the Sri Lanka under 20 will be taking on Maldives under 20s in the SAF under 20 championships held in Maldives. And Sri Lanka has been drawn in Group A, which will feature Maldives, Nepal and Bhutan. Sri Lanka will fancy their chances in this SAF championship, as some of the players who featured in the Champions League campaign has been selected for this SAF under 20 championship, especially Muhammad Zaid from Saunders, Nawad.
Yes, Zaid and the captain Hussein Abdullah from Police, as well as I think Mohammad Khatim, the vice captain from Morgas Mulla.
And just in weeks time, Sri Lanka senior men's team will be taking on Chinese Taipei in their final AFC Asian Cup qualifiers fixture. It will be just a consolation game, but a win will do a whole lot of good to kick off things in the international calendar in the year 2026, with plenty of international football to be unfolded this year, with the SAF championships probably will take place in Bangladesh. This is good stuff from New Star. High and fast off ball pressing from Imran Hussein's men. They'll be needing a good finish to this first half after what was a disastrous opening few exchanges for New Star. Here's New Star. Aglovi still on his feet and goes down. Very well defended, very well shielded from Moki Metabo. This is the threat he brings into the fore for St. Mary's. It's not easy to breach Moki Metabo. Has a terrifying physique himself, Moki Metabo. Not the easiest man on the park to take on.
And talking about international football, I think Sri Lanka would be participating in the Four Nations football tournament, also in Maldives to celebrate Maldives Diamond Jubilee. That's the 75th anniversary of Maldivian football. That will be somewhere in mid 2026 as well. And soon after the Champions Cup, hopefully after the new year, it will be the Super League for the top 10 teams.
The Super League was last held in 2021, where Blue Star emerged as the champions. Can remember it was a party, one hell of a party in Kalutar when Blue Star won the championship after a long drought without any silverware for the team from Kalutar. So Blue Star will be one of those sides to fancy their chances in this upcoming Super League campaign, with plenty of other teams as well. Colombo FC and Navy Sports Club and the other 7 teams which will feature in the Super League campaign. As here's a New Star. Beautiful cross comes in from Mohammad Fazal. Timely intervention from Mithusan. Unwanted yellow card for St. Mary's number 24, Ruben Raj, I believe it is. It was silly from Ruben Raj. Fazal. Superb delivery, but dealt well by the St. Mary's centre halves. Not the expected turnout for this game. Normally when New Star takes the field, it's a packed house. But this time around, there's no much support for the home team New Star. But it was quite loud in the afternoon when Javelin took on Super Sun. The Javelin faithfuls always turn up in numbers to support the boys from Slave Island. It has been a feature of this Champions League campaign. All of them turn up in red and in numbers as superb ball into the box. John Lavani with an opportunity, pleads for a penalty. Mohammad Asif can breathe a sigh of relief as John Lavani still pleading and it will be an interesting replay if we can get one. An unfortunate handball by Dan Chumba Gumbari. Yes, Telam. Mohammad Saqib, Akblovi, Vital Abuja, all inside the box for New Star. Here's Fazal. Fazal goes straight to goal. Anikan had all angles covered. It had so much venom from Mohammad Fazal. Had the correct elevation as well, but did not have enough dip in it.
Just around 2 minutes plus at a time to be played in this first half. St. Mary's leading 1-0 against New Star in the second quarterfinal of the Champions Cup. Courtesy of a goal from John Lavani from close range in the 4th minute.
Mohammad Shakib floats one in Ammar. Avuja Avuja. Lavani fighting it out. Avuja finally wins the battle. Two minutes of added time.
There will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time.
Nice turn from Gumbari. But no support and no space for Gumbari to squeeze in and pass and find John Lavani. Morrison. Still Morrison. Well dealt with by the New Star players, but it was a late challenge coming in from one of those St. Mary's midfielders. The New Star bench was pleading for a foul, but here's New Star. Aglovi scanning for options in the middle. He has options, but not the best of crosses coming in from Aglovi. Mohammad Fazal. Nitarsan. Sakib. Ammar. And that will be it for the first half, as St. Mary's can enjoy a slender 1-goal lead in this quarter-final number 2 in the Champions Cup. John Lavani's solitary goal in the first half has been the difference between the two sides, as both the sides hit the lemons at the break, with St. Mary's enjoying a 1-goal lead against New Star. New Star had a couple of opportunities, hit the crossbar twice in the form of Mohammad Tilam, but nothing else was there to be spoken of, as we head to a short commercial break, and we'll be joining you with the second live action from the second half.
Champions League, ik had de gas mee, hanguman kick me, Java in Naramene, Padulan Nevi, das Vego, like a nice in Saracen, Samarok, Vene, Sat Dene. One heart. One game, one දෙන්නේ කොල්ලෝ සෙට් එකම එක් වෙන්නේ ගෝල් එකට කික් එක දෙන්නේ Champions League මේ අරමෙන්නේ One game, one heart Champions League සටනයි අරමෙන්නේ දිවි දෙන්නේ ජය ගන්නේ එක සීනට අපි යන්නේ One game, one heart Champions League where dreams take part Raise your flags, feel the art One game, one heart One game, one star One game, one heart Champions League, forever we play The spirit of football lives away
Sri Lanka Football Champions League. Powered by TV Supreme.
Welcome back with the live action. It's quarterfinal number 2 in the Champions Cup 2025-26. St. Mary's taking on New Star as St. Mary's 1-0 up as they hit the lemons for the half-time break. New Star was not that far from equalizing. Mohammad Tilham struck the crossbar twice in the first half, and St. Mary's also did have the opportunity to double their lead through Danjuma Gumbari. Even he did manage to hit the crossbar, so 3 attempts has struck the crossbar for both these sides, and it was an entertaining first half to say the least, and the upcoming 45 minutes will also be one heck of a spectacle for sure, as both these sides eyeing for a spot in the semi-finals in this all-new Champions Cup knockout tournament. We did see in the afternoon game 19 penalties were taken to decide a winner in the game between Supersun and Javelin. At the end, Javelin ended up victorious in the 19th penalty. Harshana Sumudu, the skipper, finished off things for Javelin, securing the win and advancing to the semi-finals as the first team in this Champions Cup knockout tournament, as New Star get things underway in the second half. A very important second half for the men from Banadura and Imran Hussain. Long throw in taken. Gumbari controls it very well. Fernando didn't have to do much in that latter part of the first half. It was all New Star in the last 10 minutes or so in the first half, and they'll like to continue that momentum in these opening exchanges of the second half, as well as Danjuma Gumbari bringing his rejuvenated energy into the second half as well. Slight hesitation, but and after that hesitation, it was a foul throw from the St. Mary's player. An irony to settle things in that passage, as New Star playing it out from the back as they usually do, and that's the way that they have had all the fruits throughout this season. Aglovi. Avuja, the skipper. Tilam switching the play. Here's Atif. Fazal goes over the top. Beautifully controlled by New Star winger, and here's the equalizer. Mohamed Tilam for New Star equalizes the proceedings at race course. It has been coming since the end of the first half, and things all go to square number one as Mohamed Tilam finds the back of the net, courtesy of a brilliant ball from the right wing from New Star. Mohamed Tilam has been knocking on the door. It was Mohamed Shakir with that brilliant delivery to find Mohamed Tilam. Tilam hit the crossbar twice, and this time found his shooting boots to perfection, finding the back of the net, beating Anikan comprehensively. New Star's main man, I would say, throughout this season has been Mohamed Tilam, alongside with his experienced partner Mohamed Fazal. Shell-shocked St. Mary's dugout. Not even 5 minutes into the second half, New Star found the equalizer just as St. Mary's did in the first half. They did score in the 4th minute or so in the first half through John Lavani, St. Mary's, and now New Star doing the same in the second half. Referee Madhusankar pointing towards the dugout as player gone down, needs a bit of medical attention. I think that is Ruben Raj. Ball comes in and pleads for a handball, John Lavani. It was a brilliant ball from Tarsan, I believe. And in the process, John Lavani goes into the referee's books as it is pretty unfortunate from John Lavani's point of view. Corner taken, throw in taken, shot rather, comes the cross in, safely dealt with. Gumbari. Here's Aglovi. And again Shakir with that cross. And going back to that incident where John Lavani had an opportunity to regain the lead for St. Mary's. Was pleading for a handball. It was Muhammad Atif, I believe, was the last defender. Was in the correct place at the right time. Nitarsan yet again under the dead ball. His delivery has been pinpoint throughout this game.
Gumbari gets the tackle in but cannot keep the ball in play. Just around 35 minutes plus added time to be played. Lot of time left.
If things stand as it is, it will be a penalty shootout straight away without extra time. So it will be an interesting watch. Both these sides have quality penalty takers as well. And here's an opportunity, a turn, and Ammar with the shot.
Now those are the situations that I think only Mohammad Fazal would create. Not many, or I think 99 out of 100 people, 100 footballers in this league won't take that free kick quickly. They would stay. But that was opportunity that was created by Fazal himself. Before anyone could settle down, he put that ball over the defense, and Ammar was alert to it, but unfortunately wasn't able to get a proper connection to it. But on the other end, here's St. Mary's. Gumbari! It's St. Mary's who once again takes the lead. It's Jerinson who heads the ball in from close range.
That was some play from Danjuma Gumbari, putting two defenders to the ground, then finding Lavani, then net with a 1-2 with John Lavani and Gumbari. That beautiful cross, Jerinson doing the rest. Beautifully orchestrated play from the boys from North. St. Mary's regain their lost lead. We were just praising Mohammad Fazal and the New Star outfit as we were speaking. Against the run of play, it was St. Mary's through Danjuma Gumbari's beautiful cross, regaining the lead. They lost just 10 minutes ago. And here's Avuja. With an opportunity for St. Mary's, just goes over the crossbar. Muhammad Atif, Muhammad Ammar rather.
Not the best of deliveries from Vital Auja, but Ammar almost made the most of it, off the volley. directed it well, but unfortunately not on target.
Carson. Been a major threat for New Star. This St. Mary's set piece routines. They have caused major problems in the opposition's half as Nitarsan floats one in. Avuja does really well to deal with the danger. Throw in taken quickly again. Marison. Jerinson. Lavani with a beautiful touch and goes over the crossbar. He is in disbelief. John Lavani did all the hard yards with a beautiful touch from his chest. Beautifully controlled and just didn't have the legs to keep it down. And here's New Star launching a counter-attack. Mohammad Ammar in vain taking a shot, but for his fortunes it results in a corner kick. Fazal. We are heading into the business end in this game. Ammar floats one in. Fazal rather. Avuja. Good technique shown by the number 14. Mohammad Fazal. Mohammad Thilam rather. The number 11. Going back to that John Lavani opportunity. If that ended up in the back of the net, it would have been curtains for New Star and it would have been the game for St. Mary's. But still, there's an opportunity and a slight hope for New Star with just under 30 minutes plus added time to go in this quarterfinal number 2 as Mohammad Shakir. Avuja. New Star certainly have that knack of scoring late. It was their way of winning games in the first round, especially Mohammad Fazal doing it couple of times against Javelin, then against Javelin. Fazal scored a free kick in the last minute to secure a win in the second week, I believe, for New Star. So they have done it and they have been tested in these type of situations. But this is a knockout tournament, so all the pressure and all the expectations would rely on Mohammad Fazal and the experienced players. Fazal, beautiful touch. Gumbari with acres of space. Fernando does enough to mitigate the danger.
Ruben Raj gets up. Has a slight limp. Atif. Hauja. Thilam.
Abuja playing in a more of a defensive role today, has put himself in a much more deeper role in a deep area. Usually likes to play forward and go in front of the defenders, but with the armband up his sleeve, decided to take a step back and play in a deeper role with Abuja. Beautiful work from Jerinson. Marison rather. Marison. No harm done with that long throw in. Ammar. Nice turn and wins a free kick. Free kick taken quickly. Abuja. There's Shakir with options. Ammar at the best of first touches from Mohammad Ammar. Lavani. Marison. Here's Jerinson, the goal scorer. Not the ideal position from Marison. Way offside. And Jerinson have no options but to go pass back. Shakir. Ammar with an opportunity with his left foot and goes down. Is it too soft? Referee says, referee Madhushankar says there was nothing from Moki Metabo, I believe it is.
Auja. Shakir. Here's Claude Agbovi. New star. Without the usual centre forward of Rutognabel. He's on the bench, but I don't think he'll play. Maybe due to an injury. Auja in space. Atif. Here's Danjuma Gumbari.
Gumbari. With space and options. Gumbari takes a shot from range. Indeepa Fernando does really well to punch it off. Here's Vital Avuja. Al-Fatik. Fazal. In his books, 20 minutes is a lot of time. So, New Star will keep on hanging, and Muhammad Ammar takes yet another shot. Fazal crosses one in. Anikan punches it over, and shot takes a deflection and goes over the crossbar. Here's Fazal wanting more men inside the box. Avuja. Avuja. Beautiful from Mark Blovely, but no intent shown by Ammar, but nothing to take off from OK Metabo as well. Good pace of defending, shielding Muhammad Ammar from making that run, as Vital Avuja wins a free kick. Good bit of play from the skipper. Fazal. Good ball into the box, but very well dealt with the danger. Yes, St. Mary's launching a counter-attack, switching defense into attack. Gumbari floats one in. Lavani.
That's two chances in this second half. Two opportunities for John Lavani to put this game to bed. New Star hanging on. Agblovi turns, puts in a ball. Here's Dillam. Big opportunity lost, but Ball still in play. New Star clears it downfield.
Ball comes in from Dan Jumba Gumbari. But nothing doing for St. Mary's, as it will be at another corner. For the team in white. Mitterson killing off each and every second of this game. Here's Nitharsan. This time high and hanging delivery. Lavani yet again. Third time in the second half. Okay, Metabo is livid with John Lavani for not converting it. Third clear-cut opportunity for John Lavani, a player in his caliber. Has to put them into the back of the net. 2 out of 3 at least. Here's a new star with a newfound energy, and Ammar with his left-footed cross almost found Mohammad Tillam in the far post. Metabo still livid with his players. Showing his frustration. The big centre half for St. Mary's. Still 15 minutes plus added time to go. John Lavani would hope that his missed opportunities won't come to haunt St. Mary's at the end of this game. Al-Fatih. As things stand, St. Mary's will meet Javelin next week in the semi-finals in this inaugural Champions Cup campaign. Atif. Fazal goes over the top. Madhivadanan. Has not been amid in the thick of things, Madhivadanan. And here's the first substitution for the day. Mohammad Azam replaces Mohammad Shakir. Shakir did manage to get that assist in that only goal scored by New Star, putting That lovely cross to find Mohammad Tilam in the far post. And after a good day at office, Muhammad Azam will be replacing him. Like substitution, I would say. Here's Gumbari. Beautiful control inside the box. Here's an opportunity, and what a save by Indeep Fernando. Superb from Indeep Fernando. John Loyas had plenty of opportunity and did hit the target as well. And the experienced Indeep Fernando with an absolutely breathtaking save to keep New Star in the contest for the time being. That could have been the moment for St. Mary's where they booked themselves a place in the semi-finals, but courtesy of Indeep Fernando, they'll have to toil hard and keep St. Mary's at bay, New Star at bay rather, to confirm their spot in the semi-finals. Does well Indeep Fernando. New Star in desperate need of a goal here. St. Mary's. Here's Loyas. Fazal. Mohammad Shabir. Shahid rather. Here's Agnabli. Gumbari wins the foot race. Options in the middle. Marison does pretty well. Mohammad Atif, and here's Al Fatik. Tilam. Beautiful feet from the youngster Mohammad Tilam. Finds Fazal. Fazal. Not the best of Fazal passes. Agblovi. Cute 1-2 with Fazal. Tilam all over the park for New Star. Here's Vital Avuja. Lavani slowing things down. Will be there a twist in the tail from New Star. Shahid. Fatih. We have got the confirmation. Lavani puts it over. Morrison taking it to the corner flag and wins the corner. Brilliant work from Morrison. In the dying stages of the game, and surprisingly, we have only seen just one solitary substitution for the entirety of this game. And here's the confirmation of 3 minutes of added time to finish this game off. It has been an evenly contested affair between New Star and St. Mary's. And by the looks of it, St. Mary's will book themselves a spot in the semi-finals against Java Lane next week. As here's Mohammad Atif. Indeepa Fernando risking it, but does well to mitigate the risk. And here's Fazal Oglovi. Smart bit of play from Metabo. And that'll probably be it for New Star. Anikan. Metabo rather. Most probably be the final passage of play in this game. Here's New Star. Is there a one final twist in the tail to finish this game off? Just under 10 seconds on our clock to go. Long throw in. Coming in, and that's it. It's St. Mary's who booked themselves a spot in the semi-finals against Java Lane in the next week. John Lavani and Jerinson's 2 goals are enough for St. Mary's to take the better of New Star. New Star had a superb start for the second half through a goal from Muhammad Thilam, but Jerinson coming in clutch for St. Mary's to regain the lead, and that will be end off the road for New Star in this campaign. It has been one hell of a ride for New Star. Started off with 5 wins in a row, and it was all downhill from the Super 8 stages onwards. And that will be it from the racecourse grounds as we wrap things up here from quarter-final number 2 as St. Mary's can enjoy their long ride back home happily as they'll play football for yet another week against Javelin in the semi-final number 1 in the next week. It has been one enthralling day of football, 2 superb games of knockout footballing action. Javelin taking the better of Super Sun after the penalty shootout, and now St. Mary's with a comprehensive win against New Star. And that will be it from our end at the Racecourse International Stadium. Do join with the live action tomorrow as well as we bring to a couple of quarterfinals in this Champions Cup campaign as Serendib will be taking on Sri Lanka Police in the afternoon game, and later on Solid will be taking on Saunders. So that will be it from our end. It has been one hell of a night at the Racecourse, and see you all tomorrow and have a pleasant night.